afternoon and welcome to Dialogue with Deidre. I'm your host, Deidre Malone, and I am very excited about today's show for a number of reasons. I have one of my closest friends coming back on the show, Randa, who is the Shelby County Democratic Party chair, and she's going to be representing the Tennessee Federation of Democratic Women today. The convention is here in Memphis, and Randa's going to come and talk a little bit about what's going on with the convention, and that's going to be in the second half hour of Dialogue with Deidre. But in the first half hour of Dialogue with Deidre, it's a special treat for me because the principal of Mass Learning Academy, her name is Kelly Carter, and if Carter sounds familiar, that's because she's my baby sister. And she's going to be talking about what's going on at the new charter school, K through 3, and what's going on with that charter and how she's recruiting students right now and how you can learn more about it. So we're going to talk to Kelly in the first half hour of Dialogue with Deidre. You know how to reach out to me through our Facebook page, the Dialogue with Deidre Facebook page. We want to continue to hear from you, so post a message on our Facebook page and let us know what you think about the show. Today's show, if you have any questions for Kelly or for Randa, please post them. And even though they may not be with me when I read the post, I know how to reach them and we can get a response for you. We always want to thank our sponsors of the M Network, and Attorney Michelle Alexander Best is one of our sponsors, and she is sponsoring Dialogue with Deidre. And if you have any legal needs, make sure you reach out to Attorney Michelle Alexander Best, and you will see her phone number around our show, so reach out to her. You're watching Dialogue with Deidre. We'll be back in a moment.
I like to ride my bike to get some exercise, just kind of clear my head.
I like to ride because it's really fun for me and my fiance to go ride together.
I started riding my bike as a way to save money on gas.
I like to ride my bike mostly because it's fun and it's good exercise.
That's how I get everywhere. It's how I go to grocery stores, go to work. It's how I go to my friend's house.
Sometimes I just like to not even have a particular destination in mind, just to see different parts of the city.
Just going through the park, you see people, and if you're on your bike, you can smile or say hello.
I own 5 bikes. The green Schwinn is my grandfather's bike, and every time I ride it, and he can be with me where I go.
I'm not burning gas, I'm not polluting the air. And in a way, it kind of gets me back to the kid in me, which is kind of cool.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed ours.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Wow, Teller Brown is your drugstore, and your drugstore. Hey, we everyone's drugstore. And we're located at 3333 East Shelby Drive, 794-3690. All medical plans. We support supported living, assisted living. We do it all. And guess what? We even have a $4 plan. Hey, call and ask Dr. Brown about that. I gotta go because she's coming with those boots.
The Carter Malone Group is a full-service public relations agency. Celebrating 10 years of being in business, the Carter Malone Group is located in Midtown Memphis and represents clients across the country. No matter what size your business, if you are interested in promoting your product or service and increasing your market share, contact the firm that can help you meet your goals. The Carter Malone Group. Call 901-278-0881 today.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
With Deidre. I'm your host, Deidre Malone, and excited about the first half hour of this show. Kelly Carter, the president of Mass
Learning Academy,
is in the studio. Welcome to Dialogue with Deidre.
Thank you so much, Deidre, for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, let me just say it is very seldom that I have an opportunity to interview a sibling. And so this is a joy, and I'm sure Mom and everybody's loving this.
Yes, absolutely.
So, Kelly, talk to me about Mass.
Mass is a new charter school that's housed in Pentecostal Temple Church. It's currently servicing scholars K through 3rd. We're excited about the programs that we have to offer for the scholars: individualized instruction, smaller classroom, 20 scholars, 40 in kindergarten, 2 classes, 20 students in 1st grade, 20 students in 2nd grade, and 20 students in 3rd grade. The curriculum is a curriculum that's centered around hands-on activities, exploring the STEM curriculum: science, technology, engineering, and music, with an incorporation of art. So we're excited about that. I'm excited about the teachers that I've hired and are hiring that are highly qualified and just passionate about teaching. And we're excited about the work that we're going to do this year, being the founding principal in a new school.
That's exciting. And you know, when you think about the classroom sizes today, a lot of classroom sizes are 25 plus, but the smaller classroom sizes, is there any research that shows that that makes a difference in a student learning because of the classroom size?
Absolutely. Research has shown that smaller classroom sizes allow the teacher to really target the areas of deficiency and help the scholars in the classroom. So when we add 4th and 5th grade next year, our classroom sizes are going to get smaller. They're going to get to 17.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I know you mentioned that you're looking for students now. What's the goal? How many students are you trying to attract?
We want 125.
125. And you talked about the STEM program. What else makes your school different from a lot of the charters that are out there? I know I was reading the material, and it looks like you're going to offer some free...
Before care and after care is free. They'll have tablets for technology that'll be free for them. And nobody's offering that out there. Free before care and after care, parents drop them off.
Let me just say, as a grandmother, that helps. I mean, I know what after-school programs cost.
Absolutely.
And, you know, that can take a lot out of a parent's pocket. It could run from like $125 to, you know, $200 a month.
Mm-hmm.
That's great to be able to offer that for free.
And then even in the aftercare programs, they'll have structured play and then assistance with homework and things of that sort. So we're excited about that as well.
That's wonderful. And then it was uniform vouchers?
Mm-hmm. Uniform vouchers are being offered as well. So parents can look forward to that, cutting the cost with those vouchers.
So if there is a parent out there that is interested in learning more about Mass, what do they need to do?
They can call the number at 528-233-7, and they can also visit the www.masslearningacademy.org.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And I know you've been out and about in the community talking to, you know, different individuals, different, you know, preschools about the academy. What type of reception are you getting?
A lot of reception. They're excited. I've seen the enrollment increase. They're excited about the curriculum. They're excited about the location. Even being housed in Pentecostal Temple, because the atmosphere is going to be different, even being in a sanctuary environment where there's prayer. You know, we'll pray probably before the scholars get there, so that they can have a good learning environment. So I'm excited about that, coming out of a regular public school and actually giving back to the kingdom of God.
So what is, in your opinion, what is the difference, the major differences between the traditional public school and the charter school?
I think with a charter school, they allow the principal to have the autonomy on decisions that are being made, selecting the curriculum, and actually looking in a period of time to say, okay, this isn't working, we need to go back to the table to see what will be most effective for the scholars, and then we can change that. Getting the insight and the concerns and advice of the parents also helps us out. You know, we just have an open door policy, a board that'll come in and give us wisdom or insight on things that we're working with. Pulling in resources from the community to help also has been advantageous for charter schools.
Let me just say that, you know, I know that there's a separation between church and state. But going back to the good old days when, I mean, we used to be able to say prayer in the school.
Right.
I mean, and you know, a lot of, I remember back in Utica, Mississippi, Tennessee used to talk about the fact that their churches, their schools were inside churches.
Right.
And so, you know, there's something to say about that foundation. And then, you know, not to talk about Pentecostal Temple Church of God in Christ, but I mean, that is but I'm going to talk about it just for a minute. You don't have to as the principal of the school, but I mean, there's just such a history associated with that church. The bishop now, Bishop Patterson, is the grandson, I think he's the grandson or the great-grandson of the founder of the Church of God in Christ. I know because I used to represent the denomination, and actually had a call today from Bishop Blake. So, but it's just such a historic church, and I'm really happy that they have a foundation that created, you know, the charter school within Pentecostal Temple Church of God in Christ. So let's talk about the state of education today. What are your thoughts? I mean, you've been an educator for how many years now?
22.
22 years, and I just remember growing up that I think you've always had an interest in teaching.
I have. At the age of 7, I knew that I was going to be a teacher. I told my grandmother when I was visiting in Memphis that I wanted to teach, and we were playing rock teacher, and then I was teaching some of the kids in the neighborhood. And then I changed. I wanted to be a corporate lawyer, but when I went to college, I called home and I talked to Mom, and she was like, you need to be a teacher. You've always liked to teach. You enjoy Sunday school. You teach around the house. And it was just a passion. Teaching is a calling and administrating is a gift. So I'm blessed to accept the call and just to impart in students' lives and to transform their lives, to instill in them that they can accomplish anything, they can be whoever they want to be if they work hard and they persevere and they stay focused and have a plan and a goal. And so that was instilled in me, and I just wanted to impart that in them.
Well, let me just say that even as you were growing up, I remember, because I may not have been in the city with you when you were graduating from high school, but I remember, my baby sister is on the Board of Education for Cook County Public Schools. Yeah. And that was a big deal because you were elected by your peers, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
And so, it's how many positions did they have for students?
Just one. Well, one, a vice president, and then the president of Citywide Student Council.
And so there you are sitting there with the policymakers and the decision makers for public education in Cook County.
Right.
That's pretty big.
It was.
And so just so proud of the fact that, you knew what you wanted to do growing up. And I remember having a conversation with you one time when you said you wanted to be a principal. And you actually wanted to start a charter school.
I did.
So I think that it's just so amazing how you have, the Lord has blessed you to be able to accomplish your goals that you've always wanted to do.
Right.
And so now that you are there, why do you think it's important for you to be there?
I think it's important because of the insight that I've learned being in a public school, a Christian institution, being a dean, being an assistant principal, and then being a principal, really knowing what the scholars need to be successful in life. And I went back to elementary because those are the foundation laying grades. So if they have a strong foundation, then they're going to be successful in middle school. They're going to be successful in high school. And getting them early, just pushing them and letting them and training them how to have a love and appreciation for learning, which is key because knowledge unlocks the doors.
It does.
To many opportunities. And the more that we tell our kids that, the more successful they'll be because they need to hear it constantly.
Kelly, do you think that, our background, specifically your background, when I think about the fact that Dad died when you were a baby and I was a young teenager, that, you can relate to a lot of, because Mom had to get out and work and provide for us, and then, how you grew up. Do you think that because of your background, you can really relate to a lot of the students and the parents that you're having to deal with, because the schools that you've been leading, the majority of them have been in the core inner city, and some of the neighborhoods are kind of like the neighborhoods we grew up in?
Absolutely. Being a latchkey kid, coming home, Mom's at work, having to let myself in, my siblings, preparing me, making sure I'm ready for school, I can relate to what a single parent mom has to go through, and dropping their kids off and getting up early, making sure I make it to school to get breakfast. Kids do that today, and just opening the doors early to embrace them and just smile and welcome them to come on in to a safe haven. It makes a difference. And even the teachers that you have servicing the scholars, it makes a difference. They have to be nurturing and passionate, because those are the type of teachers that I had, that they embraced me when I came into the classroom. So I wanted to come to school. Not all teachers, but most of them. So I can relate to the kids that we're going to service, and I'm excited about it and looking forward to it.
Good. So as we wrap up our interview, Kelly, share with our viewers again, if they are interested in learning more about the Academy, where do they go, who do they call? And I think you need to remind them that space is limited.
Spaces are limited. So if you're interested in enrolling your scholar today, K through 3, you can call the school at 901-528-2337, and please go to our website at www.masslearningacademy.org. We look forward to servicing your scholars. Thank you.
And what we'll do is we will make sure, viewers, that we post that information on the Dialogue with Deidre Facebook page. And I think Mass has created a Facebook page.
We have.
And so you can go there, look for it, and, see what information is on there as well as their website. But we'll mention it again and make sure that you have that information on the Dialogue with Deidre Facebook page. Kelly, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
And you are welcome anytime with your sister as the host,
Yes.
the sister as a producer. You're more than welcome to come back
Thank you.
anytime.
I appreciate it.
All right. You're watching Dialogue with Deidre. When we come back, Randa Spears, the Shelby County Democratic Party chair, will be our guest in the second half hour, and she's going to be talking about the Tennessee Federation of Democratic Women. The convention is here in Memphis. I think it kicks off, if I'm not mistaken, on tomorrow. And so, great Democratic women, you want to hear about this, and you'll learn more about it in the next few minutes. So stay tuned. You're watching Dialogue with Deidre.
I like to ride my bike to get some exercise, just kind of clear my head.
I like to ride because it's really fun for me and my fiance to go ride together.
I started riding my bike as a way to save money on gas.
I like to ride my bike mostly because it's fun and it's good exercise.
That's how I get everywhere. It's how I go to grocery stores, to go to work. It's how I go to my friend's house.
Sometimes I just like to not even have a particular destination in mind, just to see different parts of the city.
Just going through the park, you see people, and if you're on your bike, you can smile or say hello.
I own 5 bikes. The green Schwinn is my grandfather's bike, and every time I ride it, and he can be with me where I go.
I'm not burning gas, I'm not polluting the air. And in a way, it kind of gets me back to the kid in me, which is kind of cool.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed ours.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Wow, Teller Brown is your drugstore, and your drugstore. Hey, we everyone's drugstore. And we're located at 3333 East Shelby Drive, 794-3690. All medical plans. We support supported living, assisted living. We do it all. And guess what? We even have a $4 plan. Hey, call to ask Dr. Brown about that. I gotta go because she's coming with those boots.
Mom, here's the mail.
Thanks, sweetie.
Mom, can I grab $20 from you today?
Yeah, sure, that's okay.
Cool, thanks.
The Carter Malone Group is a full-service public relations agency. Celebrating 10 years of being in business, the Carter Malone Group is located in Midtown Memphis and represents clients across the country. No matter what size your business, if you are interested in promoting your product or service and increasing your market share, contact the firm that can help you meet your goals. The Carter Malone Group. Call 901-278-0881 today.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Dialogue with Deidre. I'm your host, Deidre Malone, and as I mentioned in this half hour, one of my great friends, one of my best friends, Randa Spears, who's the Shelby County Democratic Party chair, is our guest, and she's going to be talking about the Tennessee Federation of Democratic Women's Convention. Randa, welcome to Dialogue with Deidre, back rather.
Thank you very much. I'm really excited to be here today to talk about the convention. The Tennessee Federation of Democratic Women was organized in 1956, so it's been around for a little while. It was started by 12 women from all across the state, and it's mainly to unite women to help support Democratic candidates. And
not just women, but Democratic candidates.
All Democratic candidates. Of course, we do want to empower women, but we are here to support every Democrat. And we're really excited to have the annual convention in Shelby County this year.
So what are some of the events that are going to take place, and when does it officially kick off? Is it May 20th? It's May 22nd and 23rd?
Yes.
So that's Friday and Saturday.
So this Friday and Saturday, May 22nd and 23rd, it opens Friday morning at 10 o'clock. There's registration all day Friday from 10 to 4. And that's when we have meetings. At 4 o'clock, we begin our workshops. And we have all kinds of workshops. We have a list here: voter education and registration, how to use social media effectively in campaigns.
Wonderful.
How to use the internet in campaigns, qualifications of candidates, if you're interested in being a candidate or working with candidates, ways to involve the LGBT community in the political process, and then, of course, your basic how to plan and run an effective campaign. Also, the Young Democrats are going to be given a workshop. So
wonderful.
We have a lot of really good workshops that are going to be going on. Virgie Banks is our president of the Shelby County Democratic Women. And so since we're hosting the convention this year, she's been doing a whole lot of work and really put together, working with the other clubs in West Tennessee, a really great set of events. One of the first ones is going to be Friday night. They're going to have a riverboat ride.
I saw that in the email. Yeah, that sounds like it's going to be fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to do that one. So, and the weather looks good. So
good.
It ought to be great. And then Saturday morning, we start again at, 8 to 10 o'clock is registration.
Okay.
Saturday, we have a luncheon. Mary Mancini, who is the state party chair of the Democratic Party, is going to be one of our speakers. And Gail Jones Carson, the secretary for the state party, is going to be one of our speakers. So we
have to give her some additional props, though.
Okay.
So Gail Jones Carson is also represents Tennessee and I guess the southern region on the Democratic National Committee. So
Yes.
she's a DNC member as well.
Yes, she is. And
a former party chair.
She is a former party chair. She has a long list of credentials. I think those two ladies are really going to be worthwhile hearing.
I think so too.
Always inspirational and learn a lot.
Absolutely.
So, as well as enjoy a nice lunch. So.
And have we ever had a female Tennessee state party chair before?
Was it Jane
not sure. Eskin? Was she a chair? I don't remember.
I don't remember either. We haven't had a lot if we've had another one.
Because if we don't remember,
yeah,
we
there's
would
not
probably
enough.
know. So
Exactly.
this is good. And is there a banquet Saturday night?
Saturday night there's a banquet, and that's going to be really nice. It's going to have Dr. Glenda Baskin Glover as the speaker, and she's quite phenomenal. She is actually the president of Tennessee State University. She has a fascinating story, and I think she's going to be another great speaker that'll really be worthwhile.
I've heard her speak on 2 occasions. She's very, very good. And what I think is really fascinating about Dr. Glover is not only is she an attorney, she's an accountant, and she has a passion for education. So
definitely.
So that should be really, and she's a native Memphian.
Oh, yes.
And I don't know if a lot of people know that.
Yes.
She's a native Memphian, so she loves to come back to Memphis, and so that should be a really good banquet.
I think we just have a really great list of offerings, and people will learn a lot. You'll get to meet Democrats from all over the state and have wonderful workshops, wonderful events, and a lot of opportunities.
Is it too late to register?
No, I think you can register at the door. I would encourage people to go online at www.tfdw. That's Tennessee Federation Democratic Women, tfdw.org.
Okay, because I've not registered yet because I thought I was going to be out of town, but I am now going to be in town, and so I think it'll be important for me to go.
Oh, definitely. But and I think you can download the forms from there, and there's contact information there. You can also go to the Shelby County Democratic Women's site, which is dwosc.org. Democratic Women of Shelby County.
Ooh, lot of websites.
Lots of websites, 2 different websites. They both have really good information and can tell you a lot about what's going on and the different timing of things. I think there's a schedule of events on there. So
wonderful.
It'll be a great time for fellowship and for learning how to promote Democrats and for supporting Democratic women.
Excited about it. So let me do this. Randa, let's take a quick break.
Okay.
And then we'll come back and we'll just talk about Shelby County Democratic Party politics.
All right.
All right. You're watching Dialogue with Deidre. We'll be back in a moment.
To be able to go to church and tell pastor or stand up and tell everybody my baby's going to college, my baby got a scholarship, it's the next best thing to dying and going to heaven.
Is a major thing in my family. If you don't finish college, then they don't know you. They do not know you. It would be a very big disappointment.
Okay, so You go to college and you're supposed to be an educated person. Well, first the question is, what does it mean to be an educated person?
The purpose of education is to enlighten a young mind and put them on the path for success.
The function of education is to teach you to handle power. But how can you have power if you don't even have the ability to sustain yourself? We find that the tuition that's being paid is really treated as hush money, because many inside of higher education know that it is not the value that is passed off as being.
I don't feel confident. I'm scared. I'm being truthful. I'm scared out my wits coming if I don't have a job by then.
Like I said, I think selling is the biggest legal pimp in America.
Information is power. Education is not power.
People that can get out of that line have tangible, sellable skills in other areas. People who don't have those skills have to stay in the line and hope and pray that they get one of the 10 jobs that they probably won't get. Martin Luther King said it best: there comes a point where silence is betrayal. We've come to that point. When college students are graduating in a recession with hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt and cannot secure employment and are getting $10 an hour jobs, silence is betrayal. What are we being taught in the name of education? We're being taught to do certain things that prepare us for certain jobs, but we're not taught to live free in the realm of our own possibilities.
Dialogue with Deidre. Randa Spears is in the studio for maybe 5 minutes or so, and I just want to ask Madam Chair, how is it going? You've been chairman of the Shelby County Democratic Party for 2 months. Has it been 2 months? Almost 2 months? How's it going?
It's going great. We have a really good committee, very diverse committee, and they are, I think, really ready to work hard. We are right now going through our organizational process, and it's just been really great to see the kind of interest that we have. And I would invite anybody out there watching, if you're interested in participating in any way in the Democratic Party process, that please get in touch with me, and we would love to have you on board working with us. We're only a committee of 29, so we're trying to bring in some other people that want to work with us this time.
And I think there are a lot of great Democrats out there that probably want to be involved. Madam Chair, and they just don't know how to do it. I think a lot of them wait until maybe the presidential election year, and then they get all excited, but there's work to do before we get there, right?
There is work to do. One of the things we're going to be working on this year, and we haven't had a lot of time to prepare for it yet, but is education about all of the changes in our wards and precincts, so that when we come even to this year's elections, even though they're nonpartisan, we want people to know where to go vote, and we want them to know that their voting locations have changed. And in about 2 months, the Election Commission is going to be mailing out those changes. But we want to make sure that people don't overlook that envelope and that they're not disenfranchised just due to lack of information.
Right, and I think sometimes that happens because a lot of us get a whole lot of junk mail and we don't pay attention to it, but it's very important information because, you know, you'd hate to show up election day all excited about, you know, doing your civic duty. And you're at the wrong precinct. And so that does happen. And a lot of people get frustrated and then decide that maybe they don't want to vote. And we don't want that to happen to them.
We don't want that to happen. And Richard Holden with the Election Commission told me something the other day, and this is so true. If you just vote early, you avoid all kinds of problems because then you have time. We love early voting. It may be a little bit early to talk about it, but keep it in the back of your mind. Early voting is a good thing.
Anything can happen election day.
That's true.
Bank that vote early and take your family and friends with you, right?
Right. We had a turnout, I think, last election of 17%. If every one of those people took somebody with them, we would double that turnout.
Exactly.
And wouldn't that be fabulous?
That would be fabulous. So, well, you know, I'm honored to serve as Madam Chair's first vice chair. And so excited about being on Team Randa Spears and excited about the work that I know we're going to be doing because you're an incredible leader and we look forward to it.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, you are welcome back on Dialogue with Deidre anytime.
Love to come back.
All right.
All right.
We are watching Dialogue with Deidre. When we come back, we just want to talk a little bit about some of the things going on with the Memphis City Council. I think we have a new city council member. And we want to talk about that when we come back. You're watching Dialogue with Deidre.
Wow, Teller Brown is your drugstore, and your drugstore. Hey, we everyone's drugstore. And we're located at 3333 East Shelby Drive, 794-3690. All medical plans. We support supported living, assisted living. We do it all. And guess what? We even have a $4 plan. Hey, call and ask Dr. Brown about that. I gotta go because she's coming with those boots.
The Carter Malone Group is a full-service public relations agency. Celebrating 10 years of being in business, the Carter Malone Group is located in Midtown Memphis and represents clients across the country. No matter what size your business, if you are interested in promoting your product or service and increasing your market share, contact the firm that can help you meet your goals. The Carter Malone Group. Call 901-278-0881 today.
Deidre viewers, we have a new city council member. Attorney Alan Crone is replacing former city council member Shay Flynn in the District 9-2 position. The Memphis City Council members who were present yesterday elected Attorney Alan Crone, and I know he was being supported by Councilman Jim Strickland and maybe a few others. And it looks like he was able to pull together the majority of the votes. And so, little that I know about Alan is he's a former chairman of the Republican Party. And so we do know that when you run for city council, those positions are nonpartisan. And so, but everybody knows, I mean, whether you're a Democrat or Republican. And so it looks like the former chair of the Republican Party is now appointed into a position that was held by a Democrat. Shay Flynn is a Democrat. And so, interesting times at the Memphis City Council. New council member Crone, good luck to you. And it's my understanding that you're filling out the term and that you're not going to run for the position. So good luck to you. And I'm sure that you've got a lot of very important decisions to make in the next few months towards the city's business. So good luck. You've been watching Dialogue with Deidre. I want to wish our viewers a happy Memorial Day. I think the M Network is going to run a few reruns on Memorial Day. Eddie, I don't think we're working on Memorial Day, are we? And so with that, we're going to wish you a happy Memorial Day, and we will see you right back here on the M Network on next Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching us, and we want again to thank Attorney Michelle Alexander Best for sponsoring the Dialogue with Deidre show. Have a good week.